Welcome back. In this video, I want to kind of go through the beginning parts of putting down an outpost and really kind of the things that you want to know about placing premium outpost locations. Okay, so I'm going to be looking here in the Murfrid system. I guess it's kind of up here just above Cricks, so that's kind of where I'm going to be at. And I've already got one outpost. I've really kind of started out here on Murfrid 1B, and I'm going to go look here in Murfrid 3A. So I'm going to look into this, and really the first thing, obviously, if you're trying to find certain places to put down, is really about the resources. Now, one of the things that I was looking for when I was trying to find a good outpost location is, one, I was needing iron, okay? Now, another good thing to kind of have is possibly a good source of helium. It depends on how you're going to power your outpost. Now, that is something that you need to think about, because not every planet will be a good contender for using wind power or solar power to power your outpost. So I have started an outpost there, but I'm gonna go check another area, just see what we can kind of find and kind of show you some tips and tricks. So while I'm gonna try and get some iron, this planet also has some Yeeterbin or whatever that is. And so I figured might as well just try to go in and double dip a little bit and get the helium from it as well. Okay, so when you are down on the ground, the first thing you want to do is obviously you want to get your scanner tool out, and then at the bottom left you have your outpost. Bring up your outpost, and this will allow you to bring up on the top left available resources. So I have access to iron and ytterbium. I guess that's how you say that, the YB resource. Anyways, what I do is I really just kind of jump around and just kind of fling it around, and you'll see my available resources kind of change a little bit with whatever it's detecting within the radius of that outpost beacon. Now, the kind of cool thing is this extends out farther than, well, just your scanner, because your scanner doesn't reach out all that far. And if you throw out your outpost beacon, I can throw my outpost beacon about as far out as my scanner, and the radius then of that outpost beacon actually goes out farther than my scanner. So that is a pretty good and easy way to kind of even see what's out in front of you, even farther than what your scanner allows you to see. But I'm not really coming across any helium, which is kind of a bummer, but that is something I am trying to find with this outpost, because that's basically the one major thing I'm going to look for when powering this this outpost. Okay, is I need helium, so to run my generators and that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna try to see if I can find it and see what we can kind of find here. If I can't find anything really quick, I'll just go to that other outpost that I've already placed. But I just wanted to try to see what I can find real quick, and I'm not really finding anything of substance for any kind of helium. So alright, for the sake of this demonstration, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fast travel to where my outpost beacon is already on this moon. And one of the things that's really cool is you can basically put your outpost beacon almost anywhere, but if you ever need to reposition your outpost beacon, there is a choice. As you look at the outpost beacon, on the right side it says rename and remove, hit X. Now, the gray part, remove outpost, you actually need to hold down the button for that to trigger. Okay, if you can press X, you can rename it, but this is how you're going to be able to place the premium spots for these outposts. So you can bring back up your scanner, and while you are within your outpost range, one, you can start to see, where your helium is and that kind of stuff. But if you want to kind of look and get a general idea, and I highly recommend this, go into your toggle view and go to your top down, okay, and zoom out. And then whichever extractor you are on, that will be the resources that are highlighted. So got a lot of iron up at the top of the little cliff edge here, the crater edge really, and then a lot of iron down here kind of into the beginning parts of getting into the crater. Ytterbium, I forget kind of where the Ytterbium was. There it is. So it's kind of up here, up at the top here. One of the issues is I want to have access to as much of this as possible, because it doesn't seem like there's quite an abundance of it around, at least this spot. And the iron, there's abundance of iron. There's a lot of iron, so I'm not too worried about iron. The other one is helium. So I kind of want to try and reposition my outpost a little bit. And there's actually another spot down here. Okay, so there's another spot of helium over here, which I'm going to try and tap into both of those helium spots while still having access to the Ytterbium. Now, I don't really know how good that will be, just because they're all kind of on the edges of, of the radius of the outpost, and even this one's like kind of on the outside edge of it. But I will try to move it. Looks like just a little. So it's my outpost beacon is currently right here, and I highly recommend, do not move your outpost beacon from your initial placing spot until you are perfectly good with the radius of your outpost and the resources that it can bring in. Okay, it's very important. Do not move that around, because that is your central point. So if you need a point of reference to kind of say, hey, I want to move it down just a little bit, maybe like to right here. And these little movements, they matter a lot, because it will dictate just how much of those resources you kind of get. So I'm going to zoom in here and see about where this is. So it's a little bit down. I know it's kind of hard to see right now because the sun is down, but it's okay. But anyways, it's just a little bit down into the crater. So let me go ahead and get rid of this and see. So that was kind of the whited area. So I think it's about right. It'd be about right here, right on top of this thing. I think it's about where I kind of want to slightly adjust it so I can get a little bit better access to that helium that's down below. So let me, so what you want to do, you want to remove, you want to permanently delete it. Yeah, yes, permanent delete. And then, boom, I'm going to bring up the outpost thing again, and you'll see I still have access to all of those resources. I'm going to try right there, okay? So it brings it back up, and then let's go ahead and toggle our view. Let's put up the Ytterbium. Do we have pretty good access to this? Yeah, we have pretty good access to Ytterbium. What about the helium? I'd say we have more than 50% of that helium deposit, and we still have like 100% of this helium deposit. I can actually try to move it even a little bit further, but I'd be losing the Ytterbium. You know what? I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this deposit, this spot. It's okay. It's not a big deal. Now, the cool thing about this is I'm going to have a lot of iron. Plenty of iron to kind of go around, and we will kind of make some iron, some helium, and some Ytterbium. So yeah, I kind of dig it. So now, one thing you want to do when you are scouting around for those sweet outpost locations is you do not want to be over encumbered. So make sure you try to strip yourself down a pretty good amount and definitely be under your max weight. That way you can move around a lot easier. You want your main purpose is going out to try to find those good outpost locations, and sometimes it can take a while. So make sure you are unencumbered. Make sure you can move around easily, because it might take a while. It might take several different landing spots to find the right one that you are looking for with all the right resources and that kind of thing. So yeah, make sure you are not encumbered and you take your time and find them. Now, with this outpost, what I'm going to do is just, I'm just going to stay on, the level 1s here. And for extractors, I'm not going to worry about the upgraded, commercial grade extractors. So yeah, there's no need to really kind of delve into that. If you were at that level, then cool. But what you want to do when you are placing extractors, and if you are placing extractors where you are, or an outpost really, where you are going to rely on helium in order to power your outpost, what you want to do is you actually want to set up your helium extractors first, okay? So when you are setting up your extractors, you see there's kind of two circles going on here, right? I got the line kind of going through the middle of this helium deposit here, and what I want to do is find that corner right on the edge there, and that's where I want to put my extractor. This will allow me to maximize how much of the area I can put extractors in. Now you can see there very vaguely, just a little bit, there is a circle that actually goes around my helium extractor as well. Let me see if I can get down into a flat area. So yeah, you can see it goes all the way around, and if you're on a little bit of an incline or decline, whichever way you're looking at it, it might kind of fade out a little bit. But what you want to do is you want to start on kind of a little point or corner that you can. If you have another situation like over here on this one, you just want to try to start into the corner as much as possible, and that will allow you to maximize how many different extractors you can place. Now, another thing to kind of keep in mind is if you're looking at this extractor for helium and I go to the commercial grade extractor, you can actually see that the rings and the radius of the extractors gets larger with the medium grade. So just kind of keep that in mind, just a little bit. It's not a great deal, but it is very subtle. So one thing that you want to do is just place it into that corner as much as you can. I guess I lost the corner over here. And one thing that you can do is kind of turn this around, kind of twist and turn the extractor to where it will actually place in there pretty good. Because there's sometimes, yeah, like right there, sometimes where you rotate it and it says cannot place. So if you rotate it, then it'll line up just good enough, and there you go, boom, that'll work. That'll work for this. So I got my helium extractor down, and really what I want to do from there is I want to set up a fuel generator. Now I can kind of set these up anywhere, but let me get an idea of where the iron is. And one thing I might do is actually just put all the helium extractors down here, because I'm going to have the helium deposit over on the left side. Obviously I got that one right there, so I want to put all the extractors down here, and just helium storage and extractors down below. That way I can just have both of them kind of feed into it. It's not a big deal. I can move it around later, so it's not really that big of a deal, but I just kind of wanted to see where all the different resources are. There you go. So yeah, once you kind of get an idea, and what you can do is, put down, your fueled generator. You can see on the left side, operating costs, it needs helium. So this is what I was going to go with. If you can see kind of the output of solar. If you want to put down solar, you can do that. To me, I don't think I care all that much about solar. I think I want to go a little bit more wind. Just seems like I want to use probably wind power as much as I can, and that'd be another kind of like little tip. If you can, and you can find those good, and you have the the research requirements, but if you can find those really good planets and you can use wind, and they have atmosphere and you can use wind, use those, because really the wind turbines are, so far in my book, pretty efficient. I'm actually kind of surprised that the solar here is as powerful as it is. There's been some planets I've seen that they get like 2, or moons they get like 2 power. So I might actually lean towards some solar if I need to, but I'll just demo setting up some of these fuel generators, and I'm going to place some of these down actually. Produces 20 power, which I think you actually have to do some research to have the the fuel generator. So make sure you have that if you need it. Another thing that's really good to have along with this is some storage. You're gonna want some storage. I don't have any adaptive frames, which is a real bummer. So that sucks. So I don't have to have it. And one thing I can do actually is create an output link. So I can create an output link from my source here, right? My extractor. I'll hit the right trigger, and then I can drag it over to the generator. Okay, so should be up and going. If it's not, I can come put some helium into this unit, and I'm gonna go ahead and do that just that way I know that that's working. Okay, so I have helium on me. I actually just came from another one of my outposts that had plenty of helium, so I'll do that, and then I'll build some iron, because that's what I want to really get extracting, and that's what I'm going to need to make those adaptive frames. I need some iron, I think. If not, I can also put down an industrial workbench and just kind of check that. So always, you know, make sure you just troubleshoot any kind of issues you're kind of running into. If you're missing a resource, try to see if you need to go buy it. If it's just like I just need like 1 or 2 resources, you know, go to a vendor, go buy it, that kind of thing. So I'm gonna go into this helium. I'm gonna go over to my inventory, and I'm gonna go to resources. Let me go to helium. So there we go. I got plenty there. All right, so that is a good note. Seems like I cannot actually put helium into the extractor. So okay, that's fine. So what I'm going to do then is I'm actually going to bring back up my scanner. I'm going to go back into my outpost, and let's see if I can put down an industrial workbench. And I really hope I don't need adaptive frames for that. Yeah, so I will put down an industrial workbench right there. So you can see I was actually kind of running low on iron. So I do have iron, so that shouldn't be a problem. So we'll just go ahead and make some adaptive frames. So you can see on the right side up there, or even here in the middle of the screen, I got plenty of aluminum. I'm just kind of running low on iron. So I'll make 10. We'll see what that how far I can kind of get with that. Because the main thing I want to get up and running is my iron manufacturing. That's what I want to get up and running. So let's see about getting up a storage here. Storage, gas. Okay, let's go to toggle view. This will work. They're right there. Perfect. I don't need anything crazy. I don't need anything crazy. So I'm gonna. If you need to delete an output link, basically you just hover over that line and just make sure you're on that line, and you can actually see the top left, you know, the source, where it's coming from and where it's going to the target. So you can see it's coming from the extractor, it's going to the fueled generator. Hold the X button in my case, or whatever button is relevant to the delete, and there you go. So I'm going to hit the right trigger. I want to create another output link, because right now this line is coming from the extractor and it's going to the storage tank, and now I'm going to make another one from the storage tank to the generator. I'll just go ahead and make another one. You know what? I'll leave that. I won't do that because I don't need that generator right now. Once I need that generator, I'll just make that output link. So that should be good. What I'm going to do now is I might need, and what you might need to do if you do this, is to throw in and put in some helium. So I'm going to transfer. I'm going to go back to my inventory. This is where it gets a lot easier because you get the very reduced list because you can only put gas inside, well, gas storage. So there you go. I'm going to put in, well, I don't want to put in all of it. Actually, I want to put in like, I don't know, like 4. I don't need to put much because I want it to be self-sustaining. So there you go. I'll put in 4. This should get it running. Okay. Alright, it's vibrating, it's going. That was kind of interesting. It started, then it like stopped. So this, so you can see it's kind of moving up and down. That means it's running, so that's perfect. So that's going, and you can kind of just eyeball one. You can eyeball the percentage that's on the side of the tank, or really, you can just come here, hover over this. So I can actually tell it's actually making gas because I'm at 4. It would have consumed 1 already, which would have brought it down to 3. But now, see, there you go, it just dropped to 3. It should get 4 to come back here in just a second or 2. Now, one thing that I like to do is I like to max out my helium pretty early on, my helium production, because if my helium actually stops making as I start to make other extractors, that is where my entire outpost could stop functioning, and that would be bad. We don't want that. So we can add in some more extractors. Okay, that is not a problem. Let's okay, so like somewhere right in here. So it cannot overlap. So that's kind of what I mentioned, that the radius around the machines cannot overlap. So I'll put that one there, and I'll put another one. Radius. I don't know why that keeps disappearing right there. That's really weird. So, honestly, I'll try to put this one into the corner as much as possible as well. That'll work. That's fine. That's good enough. Okay, so there you go. That'll work. And then all you want to make sure you do is connect said. There you go. So I connected my extractors to my storage. Should be self-feeding to my storage, which is now going to the generator. And at the bottom, you can see needed power, 15. That's 5 for each one of these extractors. Boom. You see operating cost, top left, 5 for this extractor. So that's 5 for each one of them. So that'd be 15. And then I have 1 generator here providing a total of 20 power. So that seems to be working. So now I can start to place down some iron. That's really what I was really wanting. But you want to make sure your energy source is secure. Okay, you really kind of want to keep an eye on that. And I got a couple more spots I probably do want to put down some helium, but I'm going to get iron up and running first off. Now, you do not need to link your output link. You do not need to output link your power. Your power is just general to the entire outpost, so you don't need to really worry about that. So let's go back into iron. And yeah, we'll just start down here. This works. So let's zoom in. So we got plenty. Okay. Yeah, I think like right there, that'll work. So iron is running. You actually just saw it pump up and down. So that has power, that is running. What I want to do now is go ahead and add a storage for solids. And really I can just add it about right here. It's not a big deal. And what I would highly recommend is actually stacking them. So you can see build requirements up at the top left. This is why I wanted to get my iron up and going, because I was actually kind of low on my character with iron. I didn't want to have to go buy any. So what I can do is now set this, and now I'll have iron start to come in, and I can pick that up and build with it as that starts to come in. So that works. Another thing that I can actually do is, well, one thing I kind of want to do is I want to check how my production is going for helium. So I'm up at 5, so far to me it seems to be self-sustaining, a little bit of a plus, not a great deal. So that's where now I kind of want to get into, maybe put down another, let me move this industrial workbench. Where are you serious? It won't let me put this anywhere? There we go. That'll work. Good grief. So I want to put down some more helium. Do not want to lose traction of making helium here. So there's that. Just trying to get roughly an idea. So there's that. So I can put it there and kind of slide it down. See, this is about where I like to get it, because I want to try to get one here, and then one maybe here, and then one here. I don't think that'll be able to happen. Yeah, I don't think that'd be able to happen. You can kind of eyeball it after you kind of get used to this. If you can, you know, kind of what your limitations are. Alright, so I'm gonna zoom in. So that's the other thing, is if you're having a hard time with getting like your precision point in, make sure you just zoom in, boom, place it down. If you're zooming out, it kind of moves a little bit too quick, so make sure you zoom in. If you're on a console, you know, that might be a problem. If you're on PC, I'm sure you're on mouse, so you're probably fine. So yeah. See, I can see like I'm already gonna overlap like a lot in here, so I can try to put this down. So place on radiuses with an existing project. I'll try to put that down there. Yeah, I won't be able to put anything down anywhere in here. So kind of a bummer. I was hoping to get like 2 more in there. It's not a big deal. Okay, so let me create both of these links. And let me get that going. What I need to do, okay, so you just saw it right there. Let me go back to that. So my other generator just turned on. I just saw it like right as I was closing the menu there. Total power is now at 40, so that's perfect. The other generator turned on, and I didn't know if I was gonna have to hit the switch or not, but there you go. Total power 40. So now I could put down 2 more extractors for iron, and get some more iron coming in that way. Okay, so let me go ahead and toggle the view here. Let me bring up the build mode, iron, and let's see what we can kind of get in here. Okay, it's overlapping, so I want to very just kind of slowly move around the output, or the outer edge of this. There, I think that works about right there. Yeah, boom. So that works. And I can go over here. Missing resources, so tungsten. So yeah, that's where it's kind of a bummer. So can I make, so yeah, tungsten, that was another one that I was having an issue with. So I'll kind of just wrap it up there, but you just want to make sure you create the output link to your storage, because while the extractors do have their own storage, it is small. It is small. They'll meet that in like 5 minutes. It doesn't take long for them to get to their storage limits. So you always want to make sure you have storage, and you can add in more storage. that's not a problem. I can actually go check and see how much I need to make sure that we're good here. All right, so that's making 10. All right, so that's still building, so that's good. So that's still building, and I'll show you another thing here. Okay, so 5%, 6 iron, so we're building in the iron, so that's perfect. All right, so that's exactly what you want to see. Now, another thing, real quick before I kind of wrap this up, is if you need to delete something, don't feel like you can't put something down or anything like that. For the simple fact, if you're like, hey, you know what, if I put this down, I'm gonna lose the resources, or you know, if you delete something, you're gonna lose the resources. That's not true. Okay, that is not true. So you can see up at the top left, I have copper 138, and this is, you know, the helium extractor, right? So I got the helium extractor here. So I have a nickel of 138, copper 106, aluminum 149. I don't know why I went out of order right there, but I did. So hopefully you follow along with that. But if you need to delete one of these, now you can see how much the extractor for helium actually costs. So you should actually see, as I'm going to delete this one right here, the resources should go up by that much. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and delete this one, and I'll go back into build mode. And you can see nickel went up to 142, aluminum did go up to 554, and copper did go up to 109. So yeah, if you don't feel like you're gonna get in a bind, like it's not permanent, like don't worry about that. And that is a great thing for when you're going to upgrade. So like I can put down this, I don't have molecular sieves on me, but I could have upgraded to this medium. Right? I could have upgraded to this medium commercial extractor. Okay, so if you come back in later and it's like, oh man, I'm gonna upgrade to my my next level, you get some, you know, some new rank ups on research or whatnot, and you get access to new tech or new resources or new building materials or building components, you know, that will allow you to upgrade your outposts. And so don't feel like, you know, just because you put something down, or you put down the wrong one, you meant to put down the commercial grade one, and you know, you accidentally put down the small one. I've done that before, and you know, I just delete it and put down the commercial grade one. It's not a big deal. So yeah, you can definitely make sure you do that. So that's kind of the simple, easy version. If I had molecular sleeves, I'd probably go a little bit more and kind of show you how the commercial grade, maybe upgrading some of this stuff would work. But I think for now that's good. And then next time I'll probably get into setting up probably the different links that we have that they put in the game, if I can find it. Did I not go far enough? Oh yeah, miscellaneous. Here, the cargo links. So I would highly recommend staying away from the inter-system cargo link. Highly recommend that. That's kind of where I'll leave it off. Try to build out as much as you can within a star system, within a solar system, and then try to facilitate everything to one outgoing outpost to other systems or something like that. Don't try to go around setting up a whole bunch of cargo links, because the helium from the operating cost here is it's very high. It's very high. I ran out of helium in one of my outposts, and it just stopped my entire outpost. So had to rethink what I was doing. So highly recommend using the cargo links, though. There's no operating costs. You just need to have the materials to build it, and you can transport stuff between, but I'll go through that in the next video. Alrighty, take care.